Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Andrew, and today we are on day 8 of TryHackMe's Advent of Cyber 2024, and where we get to unlock the world of Shellcode. Want to give a huge shout out to the Bearded IT Dad for his amazing walkthrough video today, and also a shout out to a channel that is called Learn to Defend Cyber, where I actually watched his stream for a quick bit because I got a little confused, I think, when I was trying to get my reverse shell going on my attack box. And I'm going to kind of show you and walk you through those quick tips and kind of at least point out to where I got a little hung up on. So let's go ahead and get started. If you've not been on this channel before, pretty much today is going to go over a quick challenge, what I thought about it, what I learned from it, and maybe show you a thing or two to where you won't also get stuck on the same thing I did. So as always, we're continuing our story. The glitch is skilled and mistrusted hacker was preparing for a tech conference. He was eager to share his shellcode script that remotely accessed his home system. As he worked, he noticed Mayor Malware henchmen lurking nearby. They're wasting their time. I don't have anything they want, Glitch chuckled. He didn't realize that hidden in his home system was something that desperately sought a research paper he wrote on Wareville's defenses, a treasure Mayor Malware was eager to obtain. So today's learning objectives are grasping the fundamentals of writing shellcode, generating shellcode for reverse shell, and executing shellcode with PowerShell. For this one, we are going to need both an attack box and the start VM, which you can run right here in that bottom left. And then on the top here, you'll be hitting that right here where you can start your run attack box usually, but I think mine's already going, so that's why it's there. So let's kind of go ahead and get into this. So we're going to initially go through essential terminologies and kind of go about shellcode, PowerShell, Windows Defender, Windows APIs, accessing Windows APIs, and then obviously going over reverse shell. So with reverse shell, what this is going to do is we have our attacker that's going to be exploiting a victim's computer by using their IP, but looking off a specific port where it's going to be then sending that traffic to your information so that your attacker can technically be on that other box running commands and maybe navigating through the file directories and then maybe looking for and pulling files back to their machine. Now, I don't think we're going that in-depth today, but still that's just a good concept to know of kind of why reverse shells are what they are and why they're dangerous and possibly something to be concerned about. So we learn how to generate a shellcode and to see what it looks like. To do this, we'll be using MSF Venom to get a reverse shell. So they give us this great command line right here, which is, I think, a one thing to keep in mind of. So, and I'm going to show you right now, and this is the piece that you need to understand of where not to be confused. So when you're getting into your attack box IP, so fun fact, it is not asking for this IP up here for your target IP address as the target IP address for your AOC shell coding v5. The attacker IP address you're looking for is right here on your root IP. So it is 10.10 for mine, 6951. So make sure you change that out for your local host, and then we'll be setting up local port 4444 is what I put mine to. I believe the challenge is going to also point you to that as well when it actually gets through to the ports. So as we're seeing that as well, we see now there's an actual shellcode example that here as well that they give you the copy to. So they're going to request that you take this entire page right here and you're going to copy this into a text file on your attack box. So, and why this is for is just you can kind of make some slight edits and everything to close this terminal. So you can make some edits and things and then pull the information over. So right here I have my little shell file that I created that is opened right here. And you can simply just copy over this entire script they made us, and we're going to put that into our shell text. Now, there's going to be a piece of it right here where it says shellcode placeholder. Now, your Windows, your MSF Venom command we ran up here is going to give you this bit buff hex output right here. And that is what we're going to be grabbing, placing into our shell file text right here to finish our payload. So right here where it says that shellcode placeholder, that's where you're going to be grabbing all that information. As you can see right here, mine is line 37. Yours should be very similar or close to. And just be putting it right after that buff equals and then pasta copying over your information. Now, once this is done, we're going to go ahead and save this. And we're going to pivot back over now to our Windows machine. But before doing that, we're going to ensure that we have our netcat opening and listening. So make sure that you execute the command netcat tac nvlp 1111 to start a listening port on quad once. Then wait for the incoming connection. Now, as I mentioned, for my box, I used port 444. So when I set up my my listener here, I did quad fours. The example gives you ones, but I believe further down it's going to tell you here. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, preventing the glitch from connecting the correct IP address for the glitch is the attack box IP, and the successful connection port should be quad fours. So make sure you kind of keep that in mind, and we'll kind of explain why that's important down at the bottom as well. Now, we are going to transition from our attack box over to our Windows, where we're going to be actually executing the PowerShell commands that it's having us run. Now, I will say I spent good 30 minutes on trying to make this run successfully, and that's why I give a shout out to Learn to Defend Cyber, who I think after watching his video, I understood how it was wanting the input submitted for this, and to include, I think I was using the wrong attack IP, so it took me a little bit to catch that. Once that small hiccup was done and made, so just as this description says, if you want to copy this over correctly, so, and what I mean is you can't just copy it over as an entire one-piece block, or it's going to get blocked by the Windows Defender here on our VM. So we're doing it in small chunks. So your first copy paste will be right here on this, going all the way down to the add type CRT thread, and then you'll be pressing enter. That will then ask you for your byte buff with your shellcode placement, which depending on how you had that generated, I had mine right here, and then you'll plot that in there. Minimize that. So you can see as this is kind of looking as how I put mine in. I did my first block. You then hit your enter. It's going to ask you for another bit right here. We're going to put our bit buff information. And then for your final copy pasta, you're putting in these last 4 lines. You can do it all at the same time. It does not have to be individual, but put all those 4 lines in and then hit enter. Now, if you did this correctly, this should be staying open. And then if we now pivot back to our hack the blocks, we're going to see our connection. Now, if you are putting this in and this window is constantly, we'll call it crashing, closing immediately, 2 things. 1, go back to your netcat commands and your initial MS Venom command and make sure you have the correct IP address in and you're getting the correct output. Also, make sure that you're putting these in as exactly as the instructions say, or you're going to see this crash on you copious amounts of times, like I did for about 30 minutes until I figured out I had the wrong attack IP. Now, once that's done, we're going to go pivot back to our netcat listener that we had open, and we should see a connection. And as you see right here, you should be seeing your connection received. And now we can simply just do a dir. We now see that we can kind of see the volumes and stuff we're in. And they also give us the type command and the direct file path we need to get our flag, which is the user glitch desktop flag.txt. And by doing that, we now see our flag, AOC got my access backdoor. So excellent fun room today. Also amazing to always get into the command line. Always a good thing to always get your reps in. It's like riding a bike. You can easily forget and kind of fall off, and just read and slow down. So just like myself, I'm not having to sit here for 30 minutes wondering why my PowerShell script just keeps crashing, and just understand that I had the wrong IP address in. So it's the little things that are important, and by doing that, you should have just as much success as I did for this room. Not too many flags today, just the 1 flag, and then understanding if you need any more advice or looking into more shellcode, you can go to the AV Evasion shellcode room on TryHackMe. So hope this video was helpful, quick and easy. I will see you guys on the next video for day 9 of Advent of Cyber. Keep hacking.